First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between our visitors and the Atlanta Falcons. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
Here we go! 18 Gator! Drop deep, drop deep!
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
They'll throw on 2nd down and stick. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Stick from the gun. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a 1st down for L.A.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one.
If they're in man-to-man, maybe need some safety help?
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. They find some open field here. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Easton Stick, 56 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
60 Pittsburgh. Focus, defense, focus.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Operating from the gun. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And taken right on the 30. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
Let's go. 50, plant. Mike, 34. You don't want nothing. You don't want nothing. X3, let's go.
Stick looking to throw on 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, if there is a certainty in this game, we know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws into double coverage there. And, look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete. But they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd and 10, it's Stick. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Really talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know, he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. Back to throw. McLaughlin. It's caught. Jones. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Ito Smith. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith, 67 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Go now. 60 Pittsburgh. I can't believe they even let you play.
On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A shotgun throw for Stick. He's got his man. It's Williams. Touchdown, L.A. Mike Williams, his 5th touchdown now on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you...
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. The 305-pound defensive end, Jarrell Casey, gets the sack. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. After 1, 17-7 is our score. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
They're running it. Wide.
This is Smith. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 4, but they're still looking up here at a tough 3rd and 11. On 3rd down, McLaughlin. That'll be caught by Jordan Leggett, his tight end. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the run, it's Smith. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. After the penalty, it's Smith. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. McLaughlin.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
57's Mike. Mike 57.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Here we go. Set. 18 Gator. Double dog. Double dog. That's the way. Hey, check 24. Check 24. $80 weapon. 57 to Mike. Here we go, T. Here I come. Here I come. Rock it. Rush in. Lee Griffin.
On 1st and 10, McLaughlin. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 14 yards there and a Falcon 1st down. They go back to the ground now with Smith. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. A.J. Boye up to make the tackle. Off the play fake. McLaughlin. That's into the hands of the tight end, Leggett. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
A 1st down carry for Smith. He will push his way down to about the 14. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You draw quarters.
Here's 2nd and 8. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Denzel Perryman just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Well, enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And Old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Charger drive about to get going. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. He was able to pick up 6 yards there, so that leaves him with a 3rd and 13. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now stick. Open man, it's Allen. A pickup of 24, and that's where the play began, the 24-yard line.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Stick looking to throw. Sets up the screen to Gordon. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And the Falcons grab it. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. On second down, it's Smith. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On third down, Smith. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Crunch time, defense.
They'll toss it to Smith. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Jarrell Casey, his second sack of the night.
It's now 3rd down. 22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers. 49. Army.
So that'll back him up 5. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Throwing on 3rd and long. McLaughlin. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
On the set. Check that one, Mike 52 right here. Let's go, D. Big series right now.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, this is Harris. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Stick. Throwing right, and that's complete. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the 1st on the 35-yard stripe. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and we will remain tied here in this 3rd quarter. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Yes, yes. Me. I got this. Check safety. Deep grip.
They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Ready, break.
They go back to the ground with Smith, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Steps away to his left. Gets it to Gordon. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football. But sometimes you've got to go left, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Forced to his left, still able to accurately throw it downfield for a completion.
Bravo!
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. First down, and they go back to Harris. Well, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble, and the Falcons grab it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
At the 47-yard line.
Down. 60 outlaw.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stick. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and it's third down.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 30. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And the Chargers first down.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Team 6. Hustle, hustle. Choose the mic. Try to do better. Now.
Here's Stick on 1st and 10. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time, but it'll be 2nd down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board.
Got it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points.
Ready? Chen logo. Look at me. Zipper.
On 2nd down, it's Stick. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with touchdown number 12 on the year. As they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Gonna give this time to the tailback. Room here to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Falcons. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. To try here for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now.
Next to score, Falcons 31, Chargers 24.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Now he's flushed out left. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. They give him a gain of 38.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now a first down carry for Harris. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
45. Mike, 45.
They'll run again with Harris. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This will be 3rd and 6.
Now! Hey, dude! Watch a slant. Dude!
Off play action, it's Stick. Letting run go deep for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
36. Protein spill. Ready?
And he'll give it here to his running back. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 19-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
You're all mine, baby. Pilot, 64, weak. Watch twist. Big ripper.
Off play action. McLaughlin. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case,
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Recon, 132 fighter, fire.
Looking to throw on second down. McLaughlin nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well-timed effort there by Derwin James, a sack from his safety position.
'57's the mic. Rock 57. I got him. Hey, check Mike.
Throwing on third and long. McLaughlin. And he finds a man with a crossing route. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Pretty quiet, Demon, pretty quiet. Watch the ship, watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
Now a handoff here to his running back. All tied up, less than 2 minutes to go. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And they're facing a big third down now in this tie ball game.
Check 13. Check 61. Matchbox lights. Check 99. Check 99.
And they give this time to the tailback. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. That throw into the arms of Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football. But this couldn't be much worse, could it?
No.
This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a T-form. They're already in field goal range here late in the fourth now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker and just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Jatavis Brown there on the tackle. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Chargers' 26-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check. Crunch. 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 Be careful.
Now a handoff here to his running back. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Coming to you. Coming to you.
And they give this time to the tailback. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Brings up 4th down and 1.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year. But he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. The Charger drive about to get going. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let him know, let him know. Go. Whip. Watch the whip. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Atlanta, It's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for our visitors, despite the loss, they're going to finish the campaign at a sterling 13-3. And as division champs, they will host a playoff game next week in the wild card round. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.